Hello again, friend. How are you? It is Sunday afternoon. I just got off of a 16-hour shift. My hair has been like this since I washed it on Friday. So it's completely dry, and I just got off work and I'm in the car. I'm letting it cool down because it's a little bit warm. I thought I'd go ahead and take it down and see what we got to work with. Of course, I'm going to have to put it up whenever I get home because my grandson, he's 13 months old. Yeah, 13 months old. He'll use it like an anchor or something. I don't know how well you can see the color, but it's pure white up there mostly. It's getting there anyway. Okay, so I washed it Friday and I put a leave-in cream, L'Oreal Dream Links leave-in cream in there. Really helps with the split ends, I've noticed. I haven't had a haircut in months. Still thinking about putting at least a layer in my hair. And then, let's see what we got here. I think this side, I thought I divided my hair in half equally, but this side is a lot thinner than the other side. Look at that. Because it dried like that. Okay, so it's pretty smooth except for right here. And this is smooth. I have not figured out how to keep it like that without getting it all frizzy. That is the one thing that this method doesn't do well with. So I'm really just going to kind of break it apart a little bit and leave it alone. Unwind it so it's not not just one little or one big curl. You know what I'm saying? You remember Nellie Olson on Little House on the Prairie? She had those big fat round curls. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this and see how it does. Okay, I keep messing with it, and that's a mistake. Okay. We're just gonna leave it. We'll see how it... We're just gonna leave it like that and head on home. Let's see here. It's the end of September, and it is very warm again. I am wearing my seatbelt, just so you know, but I like to keep it over a little bit, otherwise it starts to choke me. All right, here we go. Join me, why don't you, on my journey home? My journey home is a 45-minute journey, but I doubt that, that you and I will spend that much time together. I mean, we could if you if you really wanted to. Anyway, last week there's no video because I didn't feel well. I was more tired than normal, and I was in a little bit of a mood, so I figured it was probably best to just leave it alone. I gotta leave this hair alone. That's the number one thing, leave it alone. I'll leave it alone anyway because I'm driving, but I'm at a stop. That looks okay. A stoplight. I'm just gonna... My hair. For years and years and years, I've been trying to figure out how to make it as curly as possible, and I've kept it really short. And now it's pretty much, except for the new growth, it's all one length, and I'm seriously thinking about putting a long layer in it. Because I know you can't really tell right like this, but it's actually very long. It goes down to almost my waist. Anyway, weekend work was fine. The kids are doing well in public school. There was a fight in the junior high this week, and my husband and I recommitted to getting them back into the private Christian school before they get to junior high. Our oldest grandson is 7 in 2nd grade, so we have a couple of years. Hopefully it won't take that long. He wants to go back. He misses it. He's not feeling the whole system. Went from being one of 9 people in, no, there wasn't even 9. There were 9 kids in 2 classes, the 1st and 2nd grade combined. I don't know if it was 4 in one group and 5 in the other, but they were together in the same room. He went from being one of 9 to now one of, I don't know. There's 200 students in the school, which is not huge by any means, but there's a lot more students. Anyway, little Miss Mila is in kindergarten, and I don't know if I had mentioned that I had some concerns about her readiness for kindergarten, and I have communicated that with her teacher so that she could keep an eye out and say to me, yeah, no, this kid is definitely not ready. We need to delay a year. Or what's happened is she's progressing and she is building confidence and is, so at this point, her kindergarten teacher feels that it would be good for her. So if she has to repeat kindergarten, it won't be the end of the world, because we'll just put her in a different class with a different teacher and a different group of kids. The only disadvantage is if she develops strong attachments to the kids that in her current class, so that's a concern. Oh gosh, the amount of time I spend thinking about what's best for my little people and trying not to mess them up in a major way is significant. I mean, we were talking at work about one of my coworkers. She's a little older than I am, and she said she was in having therapy for her childhood trauma, and she had talked to her children, her grown-up children. They're almost in 30, they're 28 and 30, and as was talking to them about their childhood, and I guess there were some concerns that they made about her and their interactions to each other, and she said it was really hard to hear what they had to say because she didn't remember treating them the way that they said that she did. And I'm just like, no matter what you do, the perception of a child is different from an adult. I said to her, I know that that happens because when I was with my daughter, whose children I have, when I was just me and her before I met my husband, I was going to work at 8 a.m. and getting off at 5 p.m. And the fact that was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So we would get up, and she wasn't in school yet. We would get up, I would take her to my grandma's house. My grandma was able to watch her, thankfully, and then I went to work. I would get off at 5, home at 5:30. We'd eat supper with my grandparents, and then I would take her home, give her a bath, and put her to bed. So for all of the years that happened, she felt like she was not raised by me, that I was a weekend parent, that someone else raised her. And that is why I only work weekends, and I work the 2 16-hour shifts because I still need to get as many hours as I can in. But I will not ever put my grandkids in daycare so I can work, at least for not a significant amount of time. A couple hours a day maybe, like for a part-time job, but never full-time Monday through Friday. That's just because from a child's perception, they feel pretty much abandoned, even though the care that she was getting was a family, even though she was in a very loving environment that she was familiar with, and it was just her, so she got plenty of attention. It still created a negative situation between her and I. So yeah, that's why I work my weekends the way that I do, because we need to work. The grocery bill is terrible. groceries, oh my gosh. I don't want to even go back and really look, but I suspect that it's about 50% more a week than it used to be. Groceries is one of our biggest expenses outside of our gas bill for our heat, which we don't even run the heat right now. It's electricity, but they come combined, they do a level pay, and it's $400 a month, maybe even more than that, like $440, something like that. Anyway, it's a lot. Life is a lot. And then I have to admit that watching the people who have been taking advantage of the food stamps and cash assistance, so forth and so on, having absolute meltdowns because now they're going to be required to work 20 hours a week in order to get benefits that are less than they were. If you need help, you need help. That is not the problem. The problem is the people who they get these food stamps, they sell them for cash, or they have a dozen kids and they get just so much money. And those people exist, and they've been on like TikTok. I'm gonna link a lady. She's done some reaction videos to these people bragging about how much money they have and how they don't work, and then here along came these changes to the food stamps and how they some of them have been turned in by viewers for fraud, and then now the rules are changing and they are losing their what they had, or it's dramatically reduced. I just if you need help, you need help. And that's what it's designed for. Is like she says, this lady, I don't even remember what her name is, but she says the system is supposed to be a safety net, not a hammock. So anyway, what was my I don't remember really what my point was. I think I've talked about that before. Is even though right now I feel pretty good, I have not had significant sleep since I went to bed Thursday night and got up Friday morning because I did have a nap Friday afternoon with Jack. It was about an hour. I was able to get a 2-hour nap before work on Friday, and then I had to be at work at 8 o'clock, and I worked until 3, which is 19 hours. I had an 8-hour break, which I went and did a plasma. I had to have a blood draw because my protein is low. So I went and did that, and then I was able to sleep for 4 hours. It wasn't quality sleep. And then I went back to work Saturday night at 11 till Sunday to now. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I've had 7 total hours sleep since Friday morning, and now it's Sunday afternoon. And I feel, like I said though, I've done this so much, I've done this shift for so long that I actually physically feel okay. I'm tired. I don't have very much energy, but whenever I'm trying to put a thought together that isn't something that, like for example, when I'm on the phones at work, that stuff is just habits. Anyway, it isn't until I leave work and start to try to go home or have a conversation like I'm trying to have now that I really feel the effects of it. It's a weird sensation. I wonder, doctors who are required to, I think they're required to do so many long hours. I'm not sure why they are required to do that, because it would be really easy for a tired doctor to make a big mistake. It doesn't make sense that they do that to me. Working, don't they work like 12-hour shifts 3-4 days in a row, something like that? I don't know. I do not know. Anyway, we're going to be going camping in a couple of weeks, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I I kind of hope that the weather is a little bit cooler, because as warm as it is, we want to swim, and there aren't any pools open anywhere. We won't be able to, like, I don't know if there's any beaches where we're going that might be open. I kind of doubt it, because it gets cool at night, so the water's not going to be as warm, but I don't even really know what my point is. Oh, my point I was trying to make is that it would, if it's cooler, then we can get up. We're going to be 2 days, 2 nights. We're leaving, we'll get there Friday night, stay Saturday night, come back Sunday. So it's Friday evening, all day Saturday, and part of Sunday. But if we could just have a fire pit, just going the whole time that we're there for warmth and then for cooking, that would be kind of fun, I think. But not if it's this warm. Whatever, you can't really, mid-October, you should be able to, you know, count on a little bit cooler weather, but I don't think you can count on anything anymore. I know what you can count on, that the Bible says you will not know when the rapture happens. I guess there are quite a lot of people who thought the rapture was going to happen on the 23rd of September, and they were making some really unfortunate choices and decisions. But if you are a Christian, and you have read your Bible, it specifically says that no one will know the day and the time, that there are things that have to happen. So yes, and some of those things have been fulfilled. There are still some that need to be fulfilled, but to have an actual date and time, that's not biblical. It's kind of, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We live in a weird time, though. They get on there and they talk about, this one lady was talking about, leave your phone unlocked so that if you've left letters on your phone, that the people left behind can read them. And somebody's like, I've sold my car, I sold my house, I got rid of all of my possessions in preparation for the rapture. And then there were others I heard who gave their kids to the DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, because they were going to be raptured, but their children weren't. And this lady that I was talking about, who does these food stamps videos, she was doing a rapture video talking about what people were doing, and she's like, why would you be raptured and not your children? Children would be raptured before adults, because they have they are not accountable as adults are for their actions, because they're not developed. And yes, they can know right from wrong and can know about Jesus, but if they're small enough, if they're young enough, that's not something that God expects them to be responsible for. I don't know what the age of accountability is. I don't know if the Bible says it, but if a child is old enough to know right from wrong and understand the idea that someone can save you, then they probably don't quote me on that. I mean, that's just some thoughts on that subject. I'm not gonna get into an argument or discussion with anybody about it. I'm not an expert. And if somebody knows more than I am, I'm certainly very happy to learn from them. But I know that if the Bible says it or doesn't say it, then trying to make it something else is wrong. And all those people have to deal with the consequences of what they did. Life is full of consequences. I'm trying to get my grandson, the 7-year-old, to understand that your choices always have reactions or consequences. It may be a little thing, but it can be a very big thing. He's not enjoying these lessons, I can tell you that. Well, I mean, it would be great if you could just do whatever you wanted to do and there were no consequences for it. That would, but that's not how it is. That's not how it works. That's not how, we couldn't as a society function if there weren't consequences for what you do. There are natural consequences, not man-made consequences. There are natural consequences. I think some people kind of feel like karma is related to that, and he's like, karma's not real. I'm like, and then he did something, and he like threw something at me, and he turned around and tripped. Said, well, maybe it's not real, but that kind of thing is an example. Anyway. Started watching some videos about AI and the advancements. I'll link that video that I was watching because it's super. He was asking questions of these AI devices that I'd never heard anybody ask before, and the answers were illuminating. AI to me is very scary, very, very scary. I don't. And one of the points that he made was, well, we can just unplug the power source for AI and shut it down, and the AI device said that's not going to be possible because the uses that AI will be put to will create such an infrastructure that if you cut the power source off to AI, it will collapse the economy, it will collapse, the country, the nation, globally, because AI is becoming so prevalent. It's just scary. It's just scary. Yes, it's programming, but programming that is able to build on itself. I don't really even understand how that's possible. But it is something that concerns me. I got smart for supper today. I got a Bird's Eye beef lo mein meal, so that when I go home, all I have to do is put it in the pot and let it heat up. I'm still trying to think of ways to make my life easier and less stressful, and meals are a huge stressor because you have to feed everybody every single day for multiple meals, and even when I'm not there, I have to make sure that they have stuff that they can eat. But when I am there, even though I've worked all weekend, it's still, we either have to go to McDonald's and spend money, which I don't want to do, or I have to have something that we can make, and for me it has to be easy or fast, because I just simply don't have the energy for it. I did a lot of crock pot cooking. I got these silicone sleeve inserts, and I've started several days a week. I'll put the meal in the crock pot in the morning, and then it'll cook in this, it's like a liner, and then I could take the liner out and transfer the contents into a bowl, or even keep them in the liner in the refrigerator, and then I just pop a new one in, and I don't have to worry about storing the food outside of the crock pot. It's always ready and available to use. That's been very handy. So I've been enjoying that, because I don't enjoy cooking. I don't at all, but I enjoy eating, obviously. Speaking of eating, I don't know. That Sierra Huff girl I was talking about the last time, she's publicly committed to weighing herself every day until she loses 150 pounds, and she's down like 60 pounds, but the last few weeks her weight plateaued, and so every day she was getting on there and it would be the same, or even be a little bit higher, and then maybe another pound higher, and then another pound higher. And I'm thinking I watched her, and I put myself in that situation. I don't know if I could put myself in to such a position where I committed to weighing myself in front of people until I lost X amount of weight. And then I hit a plateau where I'm not losing and in fact start gaining, and to still commit to doing that. She's building her whole platform on this though. She's got a documentary of Fat Girl Diaries on her she's calling her glow up. But she's creating a lot of stress for herself simply because of doing it so publicly without, I don't know if I think it's a lot of stress. I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. It's demoralizing whenever you're working as hard as she is to lose weight, because she shows, she's exercising, she's eating well, and the weight's not coming off. When that happens over and over again, that's really demoralizing. And then to still get on the scale and be like, this is okay. I don't know if that's keeping her going and keeping her accountable. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, because when it's said and done, when it's over, then I'm sure she'll talk about that. But she did talk about how hard it was in the past she would have given up. For sure would have given up whenever she hit a plateau and then actually gained a little bit of weight, when she was still doing all the things that she had been doing and not slacking, so to speak. Bodies are so strange. But yeah, she's talked about how she's determined to do differently this time and not do what she would have done before, and that would have been to quit. I have to admire that. I have to admire that. Some people I know would be tempted to either fake the number or just be like, sorry, I didn't feel well and I didn't film it today. But she's not doing that. I wish her the best. I wish her the best, and I hope that she is able to do what she wants to do. I don't know what my problem is, honestly. Sweets are not my thing, though I have been tempted a few times with them. But I am still eating. Right now I've been eating quite a few bagels, one a day. And that's not low carb at all. That one bagel, it messes up the whole thing. No matter how low I go with everything else, that bagel is messing me up. And I say I can't stop myself. I say I can't stop myself, but I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know. I know that it's either going to be a medical intervention, or I stop myself from doing the things that I know I'm not supposed to do. It's not like I'm not ignorant of the choices that I'm making. I am. I know I'm not ignorant of the choices that I'm making. I know that pasta and bagels are not anywhere allowed in a low carb lifestyle. I know that. So why would I even consider eating them? And I literally have had a bagel every day for a week now. I don't know. My weight is such that I feel heavy, and it's starting to be hard to move around. It's funny because right now I weigh more. I weigh about 15 pounds more than my normal weight that I would carry around all the time. And just those 15 pounds it just makes me feel physically, it just makes me feel weighted down. And, you know, my feet hurt a lot more. And I know that. So why do I keep eating bagels? My doctor said that if my thyroid level stabilized for 8 weeks, that he would go ahead and prescribe, I think it's QSYMA, something like that. It's, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen here. That's something that, it's a pill you take daily. You can't be on it. You have to take breaks from it every, I don't know, I think 12 weeks is what it is. You have to take a break because it can, long-term use can cause damage. But I was reading about the side effects of it, and for some people it causes them to lose the taste changes, and the pleasure decreases. And I literally said that if I could just get a spray to put in my mouth that would make things not taste good, that would probably be enough to change, because I don't eat when I eat when I'm hungry, but if I'm hungry and it tastes good, I will overeat every single time. If I'm not really hungry and somebody offers me something and it just kind of hits right, I will just, I'm like, I'm not hungry, but this tastes so good, and just keep going. It's my taste buds that rule my world. Oh, I don't know what it's going to take. I just don't know. I just don't know. I guess part of it is, I'm thinking this in my head right now, part of me wants to be like, how can a bagel a day be the thing that causes me to be so overweight? And I don't think it is the bagel that's the thing that keeps me overweight. I think it's that plus plus eating things that to excess. If I have a bagel and it's got a lot of carbs, and then I have something else that's got some carbs and something else, and then I just overeat on one thing, I'm still stuck in that loop. I've been maintaining this newer weight, this heavier weight for a little while. But the fact that it creeped up 15 pounds, you know, that happened 2 years ago. I gained 15 pounds. And I went to the doctor. It's like, I don't have any idea what's going on. Well, it come to find out, I was anemic, and my thyroid was severely out of whack, and just all kinds of things. So I'm not sure if maybe there's something going on with that. I need to double check and make sure I'm getting all my levels checked. Anyway, I'm a medical mystery, I guess, huh? All right, well, I actually have made it probably, let's see here, 100% would be there, and I am 10 minutes away from my house of a 45-minute journey, so you figure out that percentage. I'm almost home. So I'm going to say, if you have watched my entire video or listened to my entire video, you are my people. I just thank you. I hope that you have found something interesting or helpful, at least, and leave me some suggestions on topics that you want me to talk about with you. We'll get a back and forth going. I want to try to do at least a weekly video, regardless of you know, how well I feel or not. So I'm going to try really hard to make sure that I do that. Yeah. So anyway, I pray that you have a blessed week, that you are happy